Imagine this. You have a vulnerable server right next to you that you can use to practice on, to not only level up your red teaming skills by finding vulnerabilities and performing exploitations, but also your blue teaming skills as well, to detect and create alerts on them. Well, in this video, I'll be showing you how you can spin up your own vulnerable server called Metasploitable 2, and how to install OpenVas, which is a free vulnerability scanner, to then have it scan your Metasploitable server, aka your vulnerable server. Now, exploitation and creating alerts will be up to you to learn more about, and I have some videos on my channel that can help you start sending data over to Splunk if that is what you wanted to do. In this demo, I'll be using two virtual machines, one Kali and one Metasploitable machine, which runs on Ubuntu. Let's get started. To begin, you'll need to download Metasploitable 2 from this website, which I'll link down below in the description for you. I'll be using VMware Workstation for this particular demo, but based on Rapid7, you can also use VirtualBox if that is what you want. But I've encountered some weird problems in the past, so that is why I'm sticking with VMware specifically for this demo. So once your Metasploitable is finished downloading, you can go ahead and right-click, click on Extract All, and extract. Once that's done, double-click the directory, and what we want to do is double-click the .vmx file. Now, if you don't see the .vmx, just make sure that under View, your file name extensions is checked, because if you don't check it, you don't see the file name extension. So if you check that, you'll see the .vmx file. So go ahead and double-click that if you're using VMware Workstation like I am. Once you do that, you should automatically have Metasploitable imported into your VMware Workstation. Now take a look at the memory. We have 512 megs, 1 processor, and 8 gigs of hard disk. This takes literally nothing to run. Our network adapter is set to NAT, and our network adapter 2 is set to host only. So what I'll do is I'll modify this just a little bit. So first and foremost, we do not need 2 network adapters, so I'll remove one of them. And for the network adapter, it is currently set to NAT. I'll make sure to change that to a LAN segment. To create a LAN segment, you simply click on LAN segments and click on add. I'll say MyDFIR-test. Click on OK. On the dropdown, select MyDFIR-test and hit OK. Now we should see our network adapter as LAN segment. So go ahead and power on this machine. And when you get prompted with this message, just simply select I copied it. While we wait for this, we can then move on to Kali Linux. Now I've already have a Kali Linux machine here, but if you don't have Kali Linux, you can head over to kali.org and then click on the download button. Select the virtual machines, and if you're using VMware like I am, select the VMware version. You don't want to select VirtualBox or Hyper-V. Select the VMware and download it. The default credentials for Kali Linux is going to be Kali as the username and Kali as the password. On our Kali virtual machine, we do have one network adapter. What we want to do is add another one. So I'll click on Edit Virtual Machine Settings, click on Add at the bottom, and I'll select Network Adapter. I'll select the LAN segment, and on the dropdown, I'll put it to MyDFIR-test, and then I'll hit OK. So now we have 2 network adapters. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want my Kali Linux to have internet access and be on the same LAN segment as my Metasploitable virtual machine. Let's go ahead and power on this virtual machine, and I'll log in as Kali with the password Kali. Right-click anywhere on the screen and click on Open Terminal here. And then we'll run sudo apt-get update and sudo apt-get upgrade-y. This is going to make sure our repositories and libraries are up to date. I'll type in the password as Kali. Now this is going to take a while depending on your resources and network speeds. So I do recommend you stretch your legs, get a drink, eat some food, and then come back to this. All right, once that is finished, we can go ahead and clear out the screen. We can begin to install our OpenVas. To do that, we'll type in sudo apt install gvm. Just like that. We'll type in Y for yes and hit enter. Once that is done, type in sudo gvm-setup, and then this installation might take a little bit of time. All right, after about 40 minutes, this thing is done setting up. So what we want to do is make sure that we copy our password. So it says user created with the password, this password. Now yours is going to be different but mine, I'm just gonna copy this for now. And then here it says you can now run gvm-check-setup to make sure everything is correctly configured. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll type in sudo gvm-check-setup. Now before you hit enter, do make sure you copy the user-generated password. Once you're good to go, let's hit enter. Type in the password of Kali, and now this will go ahead and perform some checks to make sure we're good to go. And if we take a look at the last line, it says, it seems like your GVM-23.11.0 installation is okay. I guess that's good. What we can do now is click on Firefox and type in HTTPS localhost on port 9392, which is the default port for OpenVas. And it'll say, hey, warning, potential security risk ahead. That is perfectly fine. Let's click on advanced and accept the risk. For the username, I'll type in admin. And then for the password, I'll go ahead and paste that in and click on sign in. And just like that, we have OpenVas set up and ready to go. To begin scanning, you'll want to head over to administration, and it appears that our Kali Linux is frozen. So what that means is that I will go ahead and close this out, and let's give it some more memory. So right now it is set to 2 gigs. I'll go ahead and bump this up to 8. Now, depending on your specs, you can bump it up to 4, but I'll just put it as 8 for now. Let's go ahead and power this on again. And while this powers on, let's head over to Metasploitable. In our Metasploitable virtual machine, we can log in using MSF admin with the password of MSF admin. I'll clear out the screen and we'll type in IP space A. Now take a look at your network adapter. In my case, it is set to ETH0. And what we want to do is set an IP address for this network adapter. To do this, I'll type in sudo nano/etc/network/interfaces. Now, let's just say we're not sure. I'll just type in enter. We can always hit tab and it will autocomplete for us. I'll hit enter and it'll ask me for my password. So let's type in MSF admin and here we go. So at the very bottom, we have our network adapter of ETH0 and it is currently set to DHCP. Now we want this to be set to static because we're manually assigning an address. To assign an IP address, we'll just hit enter for a new line and I'll type in address. And let's type in the IP address of 192.168.50.100. You can add in any IP address you want, but just make sure it is a private IP address. And then we'll press enter for a new line and type in net mask. For a net mask, we're gonna enter in our subnet mask. This is going to be 255.255.255.0, aka a /24. I'm not gonna set a route or a gateway. I'm just gonna go ahead and save this out by holding Control X, Y to save, and enter. Now we can go ahead and type in sudo/etc/init.d/networking and restart. This will reconfigure our network interfaces, and then I'll type in IP space A, and look at our IP. It is now set to 192.168.50.100, and that is exactly what we want. Let's double check that our network adapter is set to LAN segment. I'll right-click my Metasploitable VM, click on Settings, and under my network adapter, it is set to LAN segment with MyDFIR-test. Beautiful. Let's head over to our Kali Linux, and I will log in with Kali and Kali. I cannot spell, so let's type that one more time. Now, if you're like me and rebooted your Kali Linux, you will need to manually start up your OpenVas. And to do that, all you need to type in is sudo gvm-start. Enter in the password, and then that's it. So now OpenVas has started. Let's double check by going over to Firefox. And currently we are unable to connect, so that's okay. Let's just wait just a little bit. While we wait for this, now is a good idea to set up our secondary network adapter. Because if you recall in the beginning, we did set up a second network adapter and placed it under the LAN segment. This means we need to modify our network adapter too and assign it an IP address that is in the same network as our Metasploitable 2 virtual machine. So let's do that. I'll type in IP space A. Let me full screen this just to make it a bit easier to read. I'll minimize Firefox for now. and over here. So take a look at your network interfaces. So right now on number 2, my network interface is Ethernet 0, and it has an IP address of 192.168.136.134. But if you take a look at the third entry, it is currently set to ETH1, and this one does not have an IP address, which makes sense because it is currently set to LAN segment. So how do we manually assign an IP address? Well, over on the top left corner, you want to click on the Kali Linux icon, head over to Settings, and under Settings, you want to select Advanced Network Configuration. Now we see a wired connection 1 and wired connection 2. You might be scratching your head, well, which one is the right one? And to figure that out, we can click on this cog icon. So when we click on it, look at the device. We see ETH1. So that is why I did the IPA in the beginning. But let's just say that we selected wired connection 1 and select the cog, we see Ethernet 0. So we know for sure that wired connection 1 is not the network adapter we want to configure. Instead, we want to configure wired connection 2 because it is under ETH1 and ETH1 is configured to be in our LAN segment. Hopefully that makes some sense. If not, let me know in the comment section down below and I'll be happy to help you out. Now we can go ahead and click on IPv4 settings. Currently is set to automatic DHCP. We want to select that and click on manual. And now click on add. And our IP address is going to be 192.168.50. And I'll just say .150. The net mask is a /24, aka 255.255.255.0. I am not going to select a gateway because we don't need it. And the DNS server can be blank as well. I'll click save. And now if you type in IP space A, take a look at that. Our ETH1 is now assigned an IP address that ends in .150. So let's clear this out. And I believe we set our Metasploitable IP as .100. So what we can do is ping the IP of that server. So 192.168.50.100. And we get a response. Awesome. So we know that we have connectivity. What this means is now our OpenVas can actually scan our Metasploitable machine. Let's head over to our Firefox and let's refresh this page. Go ahead and type in admin with the username and password. I'll paste in the password here. And here is the web interface again. So what we want to do is head over to administration and go into feed status. The reason why is because we need these feeds to be updated. And as we can see from the status, it is currently update in progress. So once this changes to current, that is when we can start initiating a scan. What we can do in the meantime while we wait for this feed to finish updating is head over to configuration and click on our targets. From here, we can go ahead and select the new page icon, which is on the top left. This will create a new target. And then I'll just name this as MyDFIR-targets. The comment, you can put whatever you want. I'll just say testing. For the host, now you can enter a host manually or you can upload a file. Since I don't have a file, I'll just say 192.168.50.100, which is the Metasploitable IP address. Do you want to exclude any host? Now, if you're doing this in a production environment, probably you want to exclude some hosts. Allow simultaneously scanning via multiple IPs. Sure. And then you have credentials for authenticated checks. I'll just leave it as is. Let's just click on save. And now we have our target ready to go. Now you don't need to create a target. You can in fact just point it straight from scans, but it's always good to have a target list. Let's go back over to our feeds and it is currently updating still. So let's just wait until it is done. So after about 8 minutes, we are good to go. Our status changed from update to current. And to start our scans, we'll head over to scans, click on task, and we'll want to select this new task button at the top left corner and select new task. The name I am going to say first-scan. For the comment, my first scan. Yay. I don't know. You can put whatever you want. For the scan targets, we'll go ahead and select our target and then schedule yes or no. Let's just leave everything as is. For our scan configuration, we can select this if we want. So we can choose the base, discovery, empty, full, and fast. It also has a log for shell. That's pretty cool. Let's just select full and fast. And for the scanner, we can choose CVE scanner or an OpenVas default scanner. Let's just keep that as is, and I'll save it. Now this, sorry, I'm just looking at my comment here. Now, looking at our status, we can go ahead and select the play button to get it started. And now our status changed from new to requested. And then all we need to do is just wait until our status is finished and we get our results. And that is how you set up Metasploitable and OpenVas. You now have a vulnerable server that you can start practicing on and leveling up your red team and blue team skills, if you choose to do so. And that is it for the video. If you found that informative, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.